Hello, hello. We are going to talk about nurses leaving the bedside in droves. There are a lot of nurses right now and they are leaving bedside. Um, let's try to figure this out. What's going on? What's causing this to happen? Where are they going? You know, should I go? so, okay, why are nurses leaving the bedside? It's many reasons, but some of the major reasons why they're leaving is bullying in nursing. From the time I was in nursing school, they always say, nurses eat their young. And there's some nurses out there who do. And so, if you're one of those nurses, please stop it. Encourage the new nurses as they come along, help them, be kind. Remember when you started. So a lot of nurses are leaving the bedside because of bullying. It's coming from nurses, it's coming from possibly physicians, it's coming from nurse practitioners. So, yeah, they are leaving the bedside. They get bullied. A lot of them, I was reading an article a couple of years ago, and a lot of them, they got bullied once, and it was so bad that was it. They were done with nursing, done completely with nursing. So, they're leaving because of bullying. They're also leaving. One of the other reasons that a lot of nurses leave is the poor staffing ratios. And what has happened over the years is that they have changed the staffing ratios everywhere you're turning. Like, where it took two nurses, they probably say, oh, now we just should use just one nurse. And one nurse can do the job. And so the nurses are getting more work, um, you know, and if every day you come into a situation where the job load is really for two people, but they have one person doing the same thing, and all the time, you're gonna get burnt out. So leads me into the next reason why nurses are leaving in droves. They're burnt out, like flat out burnt right out. um, and this where it got worse, I would say during COVID. When COVID happened, it was so stressful in the workplace. It was so stressful. So many people were sick. And, it was new for us, handling it, dealing with it. It was very emotional too. Let me tell you, I worked in ICU and I saw a lot of people die and a lot of young people. Because in ICU, we do see people die, but during COVID, oh my gosh, it took an emotional turn. We cried when the patients died. We cried when they died. It was so emotional. And, a lot of them were young, active people. They had no chronic illness, nothing. And they got COVID and it was hard. So it was hard emotionally in the workplace. It was hard physically. And during COVID, there were a lot of nurses who were near retirement or, and they just retired right then and there when COVID happened. They were like, this is it. It's too much. Like, peace out. And they were done. So a lot of nurses left completely. They left the bedside. They were done with they were done with nursing during COVID. They left. And then the nurses who stayed behind, like myself, after COVID, um, some of the nurses, they are truly burnt out. So um, it's just like COVID played such a role in like speeding up this process too. So a lot of nurses right now, they're burnt out. They are burnt out. And so they're leaving the bedside. Um, Another reason why nurses are leaving the bedside is the physical demands, you know, lifting patients, pushing patients, pulling patients. Yes, when you go in nursing school, they teach you all that stuff there that you're going to do. They know, we know we're going to do that. But sometimes after a few years of doing it all the time, your body gets tired. So there's a lot of nurses out there. There's a lot of nurses with back pain, um, pain in their legs because it's so much standing on their feet for 12 hours or more. They're standing on their feet, and it just depends on how demanding it is for that day. How much time they get to sit down. So yes, even though they teach you that in nursing school, you're going to be on your feet and all that stuff. Sometimes after a while, after they start working, after 1 2 years, they're like, I'm not going to be able to do this. It's too much standing. The hours are too long on my feet. So they tend to start moving away from bedside. Another reason why they move away from bedside too is job dissatisfaction. um, they always say in nursing sometimes it takes a lot for like managers to recognize staff when they're doing a good job. They tend to be silent, and then once something happens where they make a mistake, something is wrong, you know it's like broadcasted, you know. So lack of recognition, why a lot of nurses are leaving the bedside. But in some hospitals, especially like in the private hospitals, they they tend to be a bit different. They tend to have different awards, like the Daisy Award. They have a lot of nursing awards where they recognize the nurses. Certified Nursing's Day is a big deal, like in my hospital, big deal, you know. So sometimes the hospital where you're working at too plays a huge impact, because if you're working sometimes for like a private hospital, they tend more to try to retain their staff. So they will recognize, And then another reason why nurses are leaving the bedside, it's the compensation. Some nurses are saying, for what we do every day, the compensation is not adding up. It's not adding up. So they're leaving because of the compensation and also the work life balance. When you work like a 12-hour shift, let's say you get on in the morning at 7 and you leave at 7 p.m., you leave out probably for work at 6. Okay. So you're at work for 12 hours. You don't get to leave until after 7. When you leave, everywhere is closed. Um, you know. So the work life balance, people are looking into where can I go that maybe I'll just work 8 hours, or, and I'll have the evening for myself. I can go to the gym. I can go to the gym when I'm done. I can go and do my gardening, have a life outside of nursing. I can go pick up groceries, when I'm done. So people are looking for better work-life balance. Can you blame them? Mm-mm. No, you have to always do what is best for you. So if you feel like you are burnt out, and all that stuff, and you need to find something else to do it. Do it, you know. So where are they going? All right. So a lot of people are, it's career advancements. They are advancing into the career. When I say that, I'm talking about the nurses who become, say, nurse practitioners. Um, they go on and they probably start working, in a clinic setting, maybe even in their own clinic. Some nurse practitioners are owning their own clinic, you know, stepping away from that bedside, setting their own hours, like what time they're going to come in, what time they're going to leave, be able to take their vacation, close the office when they want to. Some of them are going into the CRNA, nurse anesthetist. So you go there, it pays a lot more money. You're essentially protecting a patient's airway during surgery. You're putting them to sleep. You're waking them up. You know, um, so some people are doing that. Some people are moving into like nurse education. And that's like educating the nurses, and that's like a Monday to Friday job. You're off on the weekends, so it may create like a better work-life balance. You're able, if you go to church, you're able to go to church on Sundays. On Saturdays, you're able to go out with your family. So some people are, like going into, say, nurse education, while some nurses are leaving the professional completely. They're like, I am done with nursing. I quit. um, so, what are these nurses doing? Well, some of them are opening their own businesses. Like you have the IV hydration. Um, you have nurses who are going into like Botox, having their own Botox clinic. You have nurses who are teaching BLS, ACLS, PALS. You know, that's what they do. That's what they teach. And they're setting their own schedules, setting their times. Um, you do have nurses who have gone into real estate. They're like, I'm done with nursing. I'm going to learn real estate. It's not so taxing on my body and I'll make lots more money. So they're going into real estate. I've seen where nurses have left and gone to study law. They have become lawyers. They're like, after 2 years, they're like, you know what? Nursing is just too intense. It's too much. And they have moved on. So a lot of nurses are leaving the bedside. Some are coming completely out of nursing. Some are advancing into their career. Some are becoming, like, say, nurse managers, house supervisors. They're advancing in the nursing career, while others are saying, I'm done with nursing. I'm done. So some are going to even like teach at universities, go on, get their masters, get their doctorate, move along. So that leads me to ask, have you left out of bedside nursing? What did you go into? How is it going? Leave a comment and just say, was it worth it? Leaving nursing. Any regrets, or is it worth it to go? Leave a comment. Just tell us, did you leave nursing completely? Were you like, I'm done, 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 done with nursing? Let us know, how is it going? So, and I wish everybody the best, whatever you choose, whatever path you choose. And if there's people who came into nursing and then realize, nursing is not for me. And so they are leaving too. And there are some nurses who are just like, I'm just going to be a travel nurse. I'll travel to California, Arizona, and they just go around the different states. So let us know, um, what are you doing? If you have left out of bedside nursing, and would you recommend, what do you recommend? Did you have any regrets? Is it so much better on the other side? Let us know. Let us know. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you again. Bye.